a structural problem.
You're right. As a friend of the show, Willie Bragg says, it's wrong to support Bibi Netanyahu when Ben Shapiro, Pastor John Hagee, the ultimate Christian Zionist, Alan Dershowitz, yuck, and Hillary Clinton, still teaching at Columbia.
Honestly, he is so disgusting to me. I can't even with just for always. Dershowitz is so gross.
And thank you to Double K as always for the amazing support. So this is a good transition because, as you guys have probably been paying attention, the protests were fast and furious on tax day, but for different reasons. And so we're going to play a clip now from what I thought was the best protest today, and that was at Lockheed Martin.
Let's see.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Revolution! Revolution! One solution! Revolution! One solution! Revolution! One solution! Revolution!
Like Boeing.
We're gonna get
Lockheed Martin and Boeing because we've been demanding for months, years actually, for an end to all weapons sales to Israel, for an end to all U.S. aid to Israel, and they have not taken us seriously. They have not respected our demands or listened to our demands. So we're here to tell them, if you don't cut off your ties with Israel, we're going to block every single entrance to your weapons manufacturers, and we're going to protest in the streets until we shut it down because you refuse to.
Lockheed, you can't hide!
Dude, they're serious.
You profit from genocide!
They're changing.
Well, we have an expert that can talk about that in criticism, because that's what he's our expert when we start talking about the Lockheeds, the Raythons of the world, written a book.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, he's probably internationally known now because he's challenged Google. Because I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but I'll let Chris talk about that. He had some maps where all these doggone military industrial complexes are located, and Google tried to take it down. We challenged, and he won. So I'll let him talk about that.
I can say with confidence that there are offices that at Boeing, Raytheon, Google, these other weapons and tech giants where Chris's name is on a whiteboard someplace.
And I will say before you start, Christian, it shouldn't be lost on anybody that Lockheed Martin's headquarters is right across the street from Reagan National. So as soon as you fly into DC, you can't. The military industrial complex wants you to know that as soon as you get to our nation's capital, they are the ones who run the show.
I used to work in that building, believe it or not. Yeah, it's actually in Crystal City.
Yeah, and one thing for Chris go on, but one thing for people to visualize how big the military industrial complex is in terms of just the scale of it. If you're looking at that part of Virginia across the river from Washington, D.C., that entire strip from Roslyn all the way along the river to National Airport, that entire strip, which includes the Pentagon, the world's largest office building, is the Pentagon. All those buildings there are defense buildings. That's how, so you're talking just in that one strip, hundreds of thousands of people who work for the military industrial complex. Can you imagine if we put that human capital into anything else, what we could achieve, what could come from that? But I'll let Chris speak now.
No, that's such a great point. I mean, I like to think of it as the United States' #1 technological project since 1945 has been technology for war and espionage. And like Matt was saying, imagine if our #1 priority had been anything else, where we would be, what we would have. I mean, the benefits are absolutely, the human mind cannot begin to wrap it. I can't wrap my head around it. And so if that doesn't infuriate you, then, it should. It really, really should, because we can have nice things. We can live in a healthy society. And it's just a matter of, at this point, a lack of political will. And that political will can only be generated by a working class that is 100% united, or as united as possible, united across racial lines, And with those numbers, we can do anything. So I want to be optimistic. I want to be positive here. It can be done, but it really, really takes us to unite. So with regard to the map that Dennis and Matt were talking about, long story short, in 2023, my side project for that year was mapping all of the locations in the United States, all the facilities where Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, Boeing, and L3 Harris, the big six, produce stuff. And so I looked at military contracting announcements, I looked at corporate press releases, and I looked at corporate job postings. And I took the information, the addresses, as well as the what they're producing from those sources, and I put them into a map. And this took me pretty much all of 2023. And so at the end of November, I made the map, and it made the rounds. But once the protests really took off, and particularly around the genocide in Gaza, and people were using the map to coordinate, and independent media outlets were reproducing the map, then Google said, all right, no more. And to make matters even more absurd, they claimed that I was in violation of a dangerous and illegal activities policy of Google Drive, which is just absolutely absurd. So,
Mapping is very dangerous.
You can't be mapping. You can't take publicly available information and put it into a map. So I hit the appeal button. I didn't hear anything back from them, but the good folks at Eisenhower Media Network put out a press release, and we put a little pressure there. And an independent journalist named Taylor Barnes made some inquiries and wrote up a piece. And Google reversed their decision. And so the map is now once again publicly available. It's over at my Substack, thebusinessofwar.substack.com. And yeah, I'm going to continue to keep updating it, because like any industry, the war industry is constantly buying and selling. Corporations within are buying and selling different business segments, and they're shuttering facilities and opening new facilities. So I want it to be a public service. So I'm going to keep updating it, because we can convert the war industry into peaceful industries. It absolutely can be done.